Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel, and today we're going to be talking about the second part of the DSM-5 criteria for autism spectrum disorder, or autism spectrum condition as I call it personally myself as someone with autism. So yeah, I'm going to talk about the next steps of what the criteria says about autism and what I identify with, so let's get into it. So we talked about what the DSM-5 was in the first video. So the DSM-5, if you're new here, the DSM-5 is the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders. It is a book published by the American Psychiatric Association, and it's a book that is used all over the world to diagnose and assess medical conditions. So I want to talk to you about autism and what it means for me to be on the autistic spectrum. So let's talk about the definitions. So the DSM-5 criteria for autism says that the person has to have deficits in developing and maintaining relationships appropriate to their developmental level beyond the caregivers, ranging from difficulties with behaviour to suit different social contexts, lack a theory of mind, the inability to take another person's perspective, inappropriate expressions of emotions, laughing or smiling out of context, unaware of their social behaviour, being socially inappropriate or asking inappropriately social questions or statements, does not recognise when a person's in distress or has a lack of interest, has a lack of social awareness around friendship and can become very passive, has an absence of interest in other people, becomes withdrawn into their own world, has restricted and repetitive patterns of behaviour or interest of activity, stereotyped or repetitive speech, motor movements, the use of objects, unusually formal language, echolalia, which means repeating of words or repeating of songs, especially like their favourite song or music, stereotyped or repetitive motor movements, so this could be hand movements as in finger flicking, flapping, twisting, stereotypical body movements, swaying, rocking, fidgeting, flapping, spinning, that kind of stuff. Abnormalities of posture, so their body posture can become intense, or they can tense their bodies up to the point where it hurts them. Excessively can put their hands over their ears due to the noise and the frustration. Repetitively turns lights on and off, things like that. So for myself, I do some of these traits, like I have repetitive behaviours of behaviour. So for me, I can get really passive about what I'm interested in to the point where I bore people with it, or I can twirl my hair and I get anxious. I do a lot of twirling my hair. I do a lot of things like picking my fingers, stuff like that. I tend to get quite tense in my body. If I'm anxious, you'll see me sort of go like this, and I get very, very tensed out very, very quickly. I do put my hands over my ears quite a lot if I don't have my headphones with me, because the high-pitched noise really does irritate me to the point where I'm just like, ow, 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 ow. I wish the high-pitched noise would go away, but unfortunately you can't avoid that in the world we live in right now. So I also do have abnormalities of posture. Like I tend to walk quite hunched over, or I tend to walk quite fast, and people are like, Gemma, slow down, you're going to hurt yourself. Gemma, slow down. So I do tend to walk quite quickly. So again, that's something that I do. And also sometimes I've noticed I do drag my legs sometimes. So if I'm walking, I kind of drag my feet rather than walking with my feet flat on the ground. Again, people do comment on that to me, like, Gemma, pick up your feet. You sound like you're dragging your feet. Gemma, pick up your feet. So I do a lot of that as well. My language can be quite formal and monotone as well. As you can probably see, my tone of voice is quite monotone and flat. I talk in quite a formal context most of the time. So again, that can be inappropriate in some social contexts. But because I'm used to doing a lot of professional talks and being around people, I kind of just do that out of my automatic response to people. Again, they say about lack of theory of mind, the inability to take another person's perspective. Yes, again, that's something I do a lot of. I don't really understand people's perspective, and it's not until someone actually says to me, Gemma, well, what about my perspective? Doesn't it matter? What about me? And I'm just like, well, this or that, and I don't tend to listen to the other person. So again, that gets me into a lot of trouble. So yes, I do agree with that. The inappropriate expressions of emotion. This is a big topic because A lot of people do say to me that I do act inappropriate with my emotions, that I sometimes do come in at inappropriate times. So again, also I can become withdrawn in my own world. Like once I get into a special interest, I tend to focus on it rather than helping other people around me, like my family. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please like, comment, share and subscribe to my channel for more content. Until next time guys, bye!